I'm going to be doing a Q&A video next week. So what I'm going to do is this video will have gone on Sunday, and then the very next Sunday there's going to be the answers video to this video, similar to how Weapon Collector's done it before, because I think his videos are really good when he does the Q&A ones, because you know, you get all sorts of weird questions that are quite interesting when he answers them. So what I'm going to do is, obviously you're going to have roughly a week to ask your questions. If there ends up being too many, I'll have to do another video on another time. All I'll ask is that you don't ask anything kind of really personal or offensive, but you know, interesting questions are always welcome, because I try and answer most questions in the comments anyway, but obviously some people might prefer a video thing. So a good thing if I'm doing a video kind of Q&A is I can show you stuff if somebody asks a question about it, rather than just trying to answer people in the comments about it. So there's that. And not much else to say about it. If it ends up being a really long video, I might have to start and stop the camera on purpose in a few places, because the problem with this camera is, if I'm recording and it records for more than about 10 minutes, I think it is, it cuts the clip into two clips, but you lose a bit in the middle. So what often happens is I'll record a long video now and again, and then all of a sudden I'll notice when I put the clips together that there's some missing, like, you know, 5 seconds of audio or something in between the clips. So I'm going to have to try and remember to actually, you know, like, stop and start the camera a few times so all of it's recorded. So yeah, you've got until about this time next week, but obviously I'm going to have to film the video before I put it up, so you've probably only got about 5 days, not 7 days or so, to ask your questions. What I'll try and do is, if I only get one type of question, I'll put the person's username and like the question, and I'll print it off exactly as they've said it, so I'll have them all like on the sheet of paper so I can go through them and won't forget any. If a few people ask the same sort of question, I'll try and generalise it into one question, and then I'll put all the names of people who've asked it. So I generally don't do shout outs very often to people, because you know, I find it's a bit distracting from doing my own videos if I have to go for a list of people to shout out. But if you want to get your name out there for your channel, ask a good question, and then obviously if I'm doing the video to it, you'll get your channel name mentioned then. So as I said, you've got a few days to get your questions in. If I get loads, then I'll have to do another video. I'm not apologies if I don't get them all done. I would say first come first serve, but I think if I'm looking through there and there's some really good questions that are asked a bit later, they're more likely to be included than, you know, very generic boring questions if people ask that. Anything earlier, so as I said, don't ask anything offensive or like really rude, because if you do, I'm not obviously going to feature your questions, but obviously good questions, don't have to be about gas masks and things like that, but generally more channel orientated questions are probably the way to go, because they're going to be the things that are going to interest more people watching. But if you have interesting questions, yeah, ask them.